The air in the Brown family home is thick with tension. Behind the smiles, the vacations, and the happy family facade, something far darker is brewing. Kody Brown, once the seemingly charismatic patriarch, has become a master manipulator, playing a dangerous game of emotional control that has shattered his family's foundation. Christine Brown, one of his wives, has endured years of manipulation, gaslighting, and emotional neglect, leading her down a path of fear and PTSD. Her journey is heartbreaking, but it's also one of incredible bravery. As she fights for her own peace, she uncovers the true cost of living in a toxic, controlling environment. In today's deep dive, we're going to explore the fractured dynamics between Kody, Christine, and the rest of the wives. It's a web of manipulation, power struggles, and emotional abuse, all hidden behind the curtains of polygamy. Kody's need for control has left its mark on everyone around him, but none more than Christine. The emotional toll it's taken on her is staggering, and it's time we uncover the truth. Hey everyone, it's Mara here with TLC's Sister Wives. TLC Next Chapter. If you're as shocked and heartbroken by the Brown family drama as I am, hit that subscribe button and let me know what you think in the comments below. You won't want to miss what's coming up next. Kody Brown's behavior throughout the Sister Wives series is a textbook example of manipulation, and it's especially clear when it comes to how he interacts with Christine. One of the most toxic tactics Kody uses is gaslighting. For those unfamiliar, gaslighting is a form of psychological manipulation where a person makes someone else question their own reality. And Kody does this constantly. Take, for example, the time when Christine tried to confront him about his lack of attention and emotional support. She asked him why he wasn't engaged with her, and instead of taking responsibility for his actions, Kody flipped the script. He didn't address the issue at hand. Instead, he made Christine question her own emotions, telling her, "I don't know why you feel that way. You're the one with the problem, not me." It's classic gaslighting. Kody shifts the blame entirely onto Christine, making her doubt her own feelings and experiences. She wasn't allowed to feel hurt or neglected because, according to Kody, she was just overreacting. And it gets worse. Kody's contradictions are a prime example of how he manipulates situations to avoid accountability. One minute, he's telling Christine that they need to work things out, and the next, he's emotionally distant and completely checked out. Remember when he told Christine that he was willing to try harder in their relationship, but then, just days later, turned around and criticized her for even bringing up the topic? It was almost like he said the words just to shut her up, not because he actually intended to follow through. It's a tactic that keeps everyone around him confused, unsure of what's real and what's not, allowing him to avoid any actual confrontation or change. It's classic deflection. But perhaps the most striking trait of Kody's manipulative nature is his narcissism. He has this overwhelming need to dominate conversations, to always be right, and to never, under any circumstances, admit fault. If you watch closely, you'll notice that any time someone tries to hold him accountable, whether it's Christine or the other wives, he shuts it down immediately. He'll often deflect by making it about them instead of him. In a heated conversation with Christine, he once said, "You're just being too sensitive. I can't deal with this right now." This is Kody's way of sidestepping responsibility and shutting down any vulnerability or self-reflection. It's all about him, his needs, his control. He has no interest in taking a hard look at his behavior because, in his world, he's always right. Kody's manipulative tactics, gaslighting, contradictions, and narcissism create a whirlwind of confusion and emotional abuse for the people around him. And unfortunately, Christine is at the center of it all, left questioning her own sanity, while Kody plays the role of the misunderstood martyr. It's heartbreaking, but it's also a prime example of the emotional toll narcissistic behavior can take on others. Christine's emotional journey throughout Sister Wives is nothing short of heartbreaking, especially when you consider the emotional abuse she's endured at the hands of Kody. Watching Christine struggle to maintain her sense of self-worth in a toxic environment is gut-wrenching. She doesn't just fight for her marriage, she fights for her emotional well-being. From the very beginning, it's clear that Christine is the one who consistently calls Kody out on his mistreatment of the wives. She's not afraid to stand up for herself, to speak the truth, even if it means facing Kody's wrath. However, her bravery comes at a steep emotional cost. There are countless moments throughout the show where Christine's vulnerability is met with cruelty or indifference. Take the moment when Christine tried to express her hurt over Kody's emotional neglect, only for him to turn it back on her. Instead of comforting her or even acknowledging her feelings, Kody deflected, pushing her emotional needs aside as if they were insignificant. It was as though she was asking for too much just by wanting the bare minimum of emotional support. But despite all of this, Christine is also shown to be incredibly resilient. She refuses to remain silent about her suffering, even though it costs her. You can see the emotional toll this takes on her. Her tears, her frustration, and her occasional breakdowns are evidence of the pain she's constantly battling. She's forced to hold the emotional burden for not just herself, but for her children, and at times, for the entire family dynamic. Her courage to speak the truth is, in many ways, her act of self-preservation. She's fighting to reclaim her emotional health and to heal from the trauma Kody has inflicted. In the middle of this emotional chaos, Christine finds a new sense of strength through her relationship with David. It's like a breath of fresh air after years of emotional suffocation. David provides Christine with the emotional support she's longed for. But what's most important is how his presence in her life helps her rediscover her worth. With his encouragement, she starts seeking therapy, looking at her past, and truly acknowledging the scars left by Kody. Therapy isn't just an act of self-care for Christine. It's an act of self-empowerment. She begins to reclaim her agency, one small step at a time. Her journey, while still deeply painful, shifts from one of survival to one of growth. Christine's emotional evolution is a testament to the fact that, no matter how dark the situation may seem, healing is possible. But it takes immense courage and strength to face the truth and to stand up for oneself when the emotional toll of a toxic relationship feels insurmountable. One of the most infuriating aspects of Kody Brown's behavior throughout Sister Wives is his consistent refusal to take responsibility for his actions. It's as though accountability is a foreign concept to him. Whenever confronted with his mistakes or manipulative behavior, he becomes defensive, evasive, and often downright combative. Watching this play out on screen leaves you with one resounding thought. How can someone refuse to face their own role in the destruction of their family? Kody has mastered the art of deflection. Every time Christine or one of the other wives points out his behavior, his emotional neglect, his favoritism, his lack of empathy, Kody skillfully turns the focus back onto them. He's the victim in every situation. His constant need to avoid taking ownership of the damage he's caused leaves a trail of unresolved issues, frustration, and broken trust. Take, for instance, the many times Christine has tried to address their crumbling relationship. Instead of acknowledging his part in it, Kody brushes her off, blaming her for their problems or making it seem as though it's all her fault. In one particularly telling moment, when Christine opens up about feeling emotionally abandoned by him, Kody responds with cold indifference. He doesn't apologize, doesn't validate her feelings, or even attempt to understand her point of view. Instead, he focuses on his own hurt feelings, painting himself as the misunderstood husband who has suffered at the hands of his wives. It's a textbook example of emotional manipulation. By shifting the narrative and making it about his pain, Kody completely sidesteps the very real issues Christine is facing. This refusal to take responsibility also extends to his behavior with the rest of the wives. Whether it's in regard to his behavior with Janelle or Mary, Kody never truly owns up to his role in their collective suffering. His need to control, dominate, and ultimately divide the family only deepens the dysfunction within the household. Yet he deflects any blame when confronted. Kody's lack of accountability is deeply toxic. It's as if he believes that if he can ignore the problems, they'll magically disappear. But this tactic only works in the short term. Over time, Christine, Janelle, and the other wives can't ignore the truth anymore. They begin to see through the smoke and mirrors. Kody's refusal to face his mistakes is one of the central factors that's pushing his family further apart. And in the long run, this evasion of responsibility will only make his isolation worse. This behavior not only hurts his wives, but it also shows a lack of growth. Kody never seems to evolve or reflect on his actions. He remains static, trapped in his own self-created world of denial, and it's heartbreaking to watch. Kody's behavior doesn't just extend to his emotional manipulation within the family. It's seeped into how he operates in his legal battles with Christine, especially regarding custody and child support. The way Kody has handled the breakdown of his marriage to Christine is nothing short of infuriating, and it highlights just how far he'll go to maintain control, even at the expense of his children's well-being. Let's be honest. Kody's entire approach to the legal proceedings surrounding Christine's custody and child support claims reeks of narcissism. Throughout the entire ordeal, he's not only fought Christine on an emotional level, but also on a financial one. When Christine filed for custody and child support, she was doing what any responsible parent would do, ensuring her children, particularly Truly, had the financial support they needed. But instead of acknowledging this as a necessary step for the safety and stability of his child's future, Kody became defensive and combative. He refused to accept responsibility for his role as a parent, instead trying to manipulate the situation in his favor. One of the most manipulative aspects of Kody's behavior in this legal battle is his outright refusal to pay child support. We saw him argue over this issue, downplay its importance, and attempt to guilt Christine into not pursuing it. The reality is that he wanted to avoid paying for his responsibilities and continue to control Christine in every aspect of her life. He even tried to make it seem like her legal action was somehow an attack on him rather than a logical and necessary decision for her and Truly's future. Kody also uses language like undermining to justify his behavior, suggesting that Christine's decision to take legal action against him was somehow disrespectful or an attempt to challenge his authority. This is another textbook tactic of narcissistic control. By framing the issue this way, Kody tries to twist the narrative so that it's no longer about his lack of responsibility as a father, but rather about his wounded pride and the perceived attack on his role in the family. But here's the thing. Kody doesn't get to rewrite the narrative. His behavior is manipulative and controlling, and Christine's decision to seek legal support for Truly is a statement of empowerment, not defiance. It's about securing the resources and stability her daughter deserves, not about making Kody's life more difficult. Yet, Kody continues to wield the legal system as a weapon to manipulate Christine into submission. And let's not forget about the emotional toll this is taking on Christine. She's been forced into a position where she has to fight for the financial support her daughter deserves, all while dealing with the emotional and psychological scars left by her years of manipulation at Kody's hands. This battle is one that shouldn't even exist. A loving father would never make his child's mother jump through hoops for basic support. But Kody has turned his own children into pawns in his ongoing battle for control. In the end, this toxic behavior is a clear example of how Kody's need for dominance bleeds into every area of his life, including the legal system. His refusal to own his role in his family's dysfunction and his continued manipulation of legal proceedings is just another sign of how deeply controlling and emotionally abusive his actions have been. In the midst of all the chaos, one thing stands out clearly. Kody Brown is the truth teller in the family. While Kody spends his time twisting the narrative to suit his own needs, Christine has become the one person who dares to speak up and hold him accountable for his toxic behavior. But being the truth teller isn't easy, especially when you're up against someone who will do anything to avoid responsibility. Christine has always been the one to call out the elephant in the room, even when doing so means confronting the harsh reality of Kody's manipulative tactics. She's not afraid to say what others are too intimidated to admit, and that has made her a target. Kody has tried to silence her at every turn, gaslighting her into questioning her own emotions and perceptions. But Christine has come a long way from the woman who once tried to please Kody at any cost. She has evolved into a force to be reckoned with. One of the most powerful moments of Christine's journey is her willingness to expose the truth about Kody's actions to the world, no matter how much it might hurt. While the other wives have, at times, tiptoed around Kody's behavior, Christine has no qualms about calling him out for his emotional manipulation and abusive control. Her candidness is part of what makes her such a compelling figure, especially in contrast to Kody's constant deflection and denial. Christine's willingness to stand up for herself and her children is something Kody simply cannot handle. His world revolves around maintaining control and suppressing any threat to his image, and Christine is a threat to him. She is the one who isn't afraid to break free from the role he's tried to force her into, and that's something he cannot tolerate. In every confrontation between them, it's clear that Christine's truth is something Kody can't escape. He can try to manipulate, deflect, or ignore it, but it doesn't change the fact that she's telling the truth. But the emotional toll this takes on Christine is real. The constant battle to assert her own truth, especially in the face of someone as manipulative as Kody, is exhausting. And yet, she continues to fight. Why? Because it's the only way she can protect herself and her children from the toxic environment Kody has created. Her courage is inspiring, and it speaks to her growth as a person. She's no longer the woman who would shrink in the face of Kody's wrath. Instead, she's the woman who demands accountability. The contrast between Kody's defensiveness and Christine's honesty couldn't be more stark. While he spends his time avoiding responsibility and casting blame on others, she stands firm, offering nothing but the truth. In a family as broken as theirs, that truth is the one thing that can't be taken away from her. And it's exactly what makes her the most powerful person in this entire toxic dynamic. In any family, the emotional climate directly affects the children. And in the case of Kody Brown and his wives, the consequences for their children are undeniable. But it's the toll on Truly, Christine's youngest daughter, that stands out as the most heartbreaking aspect of this entire saga. while Kody continues to gaslight, manipulate, and deny responsibility for his actions. The real victims are often the children caught in the crossfire. And Truly, despite her young age, is becoming all too aware of the dysfunction that surrounds her. Christine's decision to fight for custody of Truly and ensure she gets the emotional support she needs is perhaps the most courageous thing she's done. After all, this isn't just about finances or legalities. It's about protecting her child from an emotionally unsafe environment. Kody's behavior has wreaked havoc on the family dynamics, and it's clear that Truly has been impacted by the toxicity. While Kody may try to avoid taking any responsibility for his actions, Christine has recognized that her first priority must be her daughter's well-being. Christine has seen firsthand how Kody's behavior affects Truly. His inability to offer a consistent and supportive presence in her life has left deep scars. And as much as Christine tried to shield her children from the chaos of their father's actions, there comes a point where enough is enough. Christine, in her quest for healing and accountability, has realized that in order to protect Truly, she needs to take drastic steps to ensure that Kody can no longer disrupt her daughter's life with his emotional instability. The moment Christine decided to pursue legal action, filing for full custody and child support, it was clear that this wasn't just a financial decision. It was a life-changing move to protect her child. Christine has repeatedly voiced her concerns about Kody's treatment of the kids, especially the emotional neglect and manipulation they've endured for years. And no matter how much Kody tries to paint himself as the victim, it's evident that his refusal to take responsibility for his actions has a direct and harmful impact on his children. What makes this situation even more complicated is the way Kody, with his narcissistic tendencies, continues to play the martyr. He claims that Christine's decision to pursue custody and child support is an attack on his character, rather than recognizing the very real need to protect his children from the fallout of his manipulative behavior. Instead of looking inward and acknowledging the emotional damage he's caused, Kody attempts to shift the blame onto Christine. But Christine's actions, standing up for her children, fighting for their emotional safety, speak volumes. In the end, it's clear that Christine isn't just fighting for herself, she's fighting for Truly's future. The emotional safety and stability of her daughter are her top priorities, and she's willing to take whatever steps necessary to shield her from Kody's manipulation and control. It's a decision that highlights the strength and determination Christine has developed over the years, and it underscores the importance of giving children the space to heal from trauma, no matter how difficult the journey may be. In the end, what we've witnessed through Christine's journey is nothing short of a testament to resilience. She didn't just walk away from Kody. She fought back, fought for her mental health, fought for her children, and fought for her right to be free of the toxic dynamic that had ruled her life for so long. Kody's manipulation, gaslighting, and narcissistic behavior may have controlled her for years, but Christine's willingness to stand up, speak her truth, and seek accountability has been the key to her healing. This emotional battle isn't over, but Christine has already taken the most important step, reclaiming her power. She's now determined to protect herself and her children, no matter how much Kody tries to twist the narrative. Her bravery in facing the truth and holding Kody accountable is a crucial part of her journey to healing, and it's something we can all admire. What do you think, friends? Has Christine's journey helped you understand the complexities of toxic relationships, or are you still rooting for Kody to take responsibility? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. I really want to hear from you. And don't forget to like this video and subscribe to TLC's Sister Wives TLC Next Chapter for more breakdowns and emotional deep dives into the sister wives world. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.